Well, it's about 6:30 in the morning here in Wyoming, and I'm on my way to the post office to pick up a couple birds that I ordered from Dennis Kuhn over at White Racers. He had a pretty cool opal cock and one of his black nightline hens that I ordered. First time ordering birds, and we'll see how they fared in the mail. We had a cold, frosty night. Luckily, they're holding them at the post office instead of trying to leave them at the door, so they should be just fine. Some of you are probably saying right now, who the hell is this guy and why is he popping up on my subscription feed? Well, believe it or not, probably about 2 or 3 years ago, you subscribed to this channel, Swallowtail Pigeons. I have not posted for a long time. Been a lot going on in my life, and I lost the birds that I had before. They were probably too strong on the wing, and either that or they got taken out by a hawk or something. It was discouraging, and I haven't posted anything since then, really. Just had a lot of other things happen in my life, and Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for calling me this morning.
Oh, absolutely. They're starting to make noise.
That's a good sign.
Usually I can peek in there, but they have these guys wrapped up so well. I think these are the best packed looking ones I've seen.
Yeah.
But usually we can peek in and see how they're doing. They weren't making a lot of noise this morning, but now I'm hearing little pitter patter, so it makes me happy.
Well, we'll see. I'm sure they're good. I'm glad they made it here before the long weekend.
Yes, me
I was
too.
a little bit worried, so thank you.
You are so welcome. Let me get the door.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great Easter.
You too. Well, I can hear them making some noise and even cooing a little bit in there, so that's a good sign. These birds are racing pigeons, but obviously I also partially selected them for their color, which I know is a no-no in the racing pigeon world, but part of why I love caring for and breeding animals is because I love the genetics, and I love to see, what happens when you put two animals together. And I know genetics aren't all about color, but it doesn't hurt to have a few colorful birds in the loft. Turning out to be a beautiful morning. Well, if you remember, I had this loft out in the pasture, probably about 200 yards the other direction, over on the other side of the barn there. I had the neighbor with his skid steer come over. We strapped it to the forks and we hauled it around the pasture and set it down here. I've added some battens, tightened things up a little bit. I've added some doors we can open and close on the front here. And this is the side I'm gonna put the new birds on. So we've got a feeder here, some mineral, I'll get some water for them. Traded out the mesh divider for some wood. I've got a sliding door here now that can slide open to get to the other side of the loft. When I lost that last bunch of pigeons that I had, I actually drove around for a while just trying to see if I could see like a bunch of ferals or barns somewhere where they might have fallen in, if I could spy a grizzle or a green leg band or something, but no luck. I did find, however, another guy in town who has a loft. I just saw his loft driving by, and I stopped and knocked on his door and asked him if he had any different pigeons come into his loft, and he hadn't, but made a good friend and found somebody else that has a passion for the birds. So I was excited about that. And he's actually raising some squeakers for me right now. So I'm excited to get those. I'll probably put those on this side of the loft, and I'll actually fly them. So I will, they'll be able to come out here in the aviary. Oh, eventually I'll put a settling cage out here on the landing board, and we'll teach them to come in through the bobs. On this side of the loft here, this is where I'm going to put that pair from Dennis. We'll try and settle them, but they're older. I think they're from 2022. I think they have 22 bands on them. They either have 2022 bands or 2023. More than likely they'll just be able to fly around in the loft and in the aviary and breed some babies, and hopefully I've got this little breeding perch set up for them here. Little hidden area. I'll put a nest box over there for them, and we'll see if we can get them to raise a couple of chicks for us. For now, let's go get them out of the box and settled into their new home. Little birds. All right, let's take a look at you first. Here's this opal bar cock. And I don't know, that much about what I'm looking for. Still learning. Some of you guys that have been doing this forever, it seems like everybody's been doing it for 30 or 40 years, and there's not many young guys just getting into it. So those of you that know what you're doing, be patient with me. I'll learn what I'm doing and what I'm looking for. I think he's beautiful. I love the opal bar pattern he's got here, and I don't know that much about balancing and feeling the hand and that kind of stuff yet, but seems to have pretty good balance, and I'm probably not even doing it right, but that's all right. I'll learn with you, buddy. All right, she's a little bit smaller. She feels quite a bit lighter. She's got a 21 band on her, so she's a little bit older, but she seems small. I mean, she's a hen, so a little bit smaller. Very pretty bird, though. Everything looks in order. So she's a spread black, And the two of these mixed together probably just going to make more. I think the spread will cover the opal. I'm not really sure. It's dominant opal, which I think acts a little bit differently than recessive opal. She's real calm, but she is definitely skinny. She needs to get some food. I could get some food for these guys. A long trip, huh? It'll be interesting to see what they breed, but I mostly just wanted, I just wanted the genetics. I wanted the spread genetics and the opal genetics. And Dennis says that his opals excel at long distance. And where I'm at in Wyoming, if I'm ever going to race, they're going to have to go a lot further probably than most other birds, because we just don't have any racing clubs close by. I think the closest racing club to me is in Bozeman, Montana. And they do combines with Idaho Falls, Idaho, just because there's not enough people around. So my birds could probably do that and fly maybe a 50 to 100 more miles than any of the other birds. And so we'll see. I think that's a goal to work towards. And we'll see what happens. But mostly I'm just going to enjoy keeping these birds in my loft. I'm going to raise them like racing pigeons. I'm not going to fly these guys, but I'll fly their offspring, and I'll fly the young birds I get from my friend, and we'll train them. We'll do drops, and I'll take you guys along on the journey. Hopefully we can keep all the birds around, or at least most of them. I know losing birds is kind of part of the deal sometimes, but I think I'll be getting enough this year. I'm going to be off to a much better start. I've got my loft in a much better situation, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. My cat's already interested, if you can hear her. So that'll be the challenge, is we've got new animals now on the farm again, and everybody's going to have to get used to each other. Dogs and cats and birds and goats and chickens and children and everybody. We'll see how it goes. Let's get you guys some food.